Today's radicalized Democrat Party has moved further away from the voters they need to win in 2020. They still have no clue. It's unbelievable, really, how to speak to the working class white voters, let alone how to get their votes. So we told you last night about how the Democrats are leaving the white working class behind. Now, it partly explains why the president won, of course, in 2016. And even the New York Times had to admit it. But now, with the left trying to woo the white working class all again, how's Trump going to protect this significant voting bloc? Joining me now exclusively is Brad Parscale, campaign manager for Trump 2020. I can't believe, Brad, we're at 2020 thinking.
I know.
But this is where we are. Now, what is the campaign going to do to lock down that base voter? Some Trump voters turned against Republicans in 2018. That's a fact. How are you going to bring them back?
Well, I do think there's a little misinformation about that. There was a lot of people that said that from 14 to 18 that suburban white women left. They didn't. There's different types of people come out for different types of cycles. So I think it's hard to look at a midterm without the president on the ticket and say, oh, they turned against him. Now, look, I think the president has done things. I mean, if you look at the budget, with family leave, I think if you look at what we've done and the way the president's pushing against socialized medicine, and do suburban moms really want...
What do you mean, socialized medicine?
Like, what, pushing against what they want.
Oh,
they
yeah,
want
okay.
bureaucrat, pushing against that, meaning that, do these moms really want their kids sitting in lines waiting to say, hey, can we get,
But they freak out. The women freak out because of the tweets, the tone.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many women that I talk to, like, I like the money in my pocket. I wish you wouldn't tweet so much. And I always say, look, that's part of who he is. He connects with the voters that way. That's how he does it. But for women, it's like they love the charming Trump. They love Trump with the arm around someone, a little self-deprecating, which we see.
Yep.
And I've said this on the show many times, so if he's watching, he knows what I'm saying. But women like that kind of charm. Obama had it. Clinton has it. And Trump does have it.
He does have it.
How does he deploy it more effectively?
Well, they also don't like to show it. And maybe that's something we need to show more. One thing I always say when I get interviewed is how great he is in person and how funny he is. And you probably know this, too. I mean, I've sat on Air Force One while he's throwing starbursts at me. I mean, he's actually a fun guy. And he really likes people.
But he sees it as a sign of weakness to come out on stage and try to be too jokey. He's like, this is serious business. I'm the president, and I'm going to kick blank and take names, which people also like. But that is something that I think for this election, they're not going to be they're not going to be caught off guard. The left is like, we're not going to be caught off guard. We were in 2016, no more.
Yeah, look, I think we have a lot of candidates. We don't know it's going to be on the other side yet, and what the position the president will take. Look, I think this president is one of the best marketers in American history. I think he understands the people. He understands how to communicate to people. And look, he's going to move in a way based off what the other candidates like. And I think either way, though, I think he's going to stay strong. He's fighting for this country. He did this for no other reason but to save the country. And I don't think he's going to move away from that. And I hope he does it because it's still how we won the election, and it's going to be how he continues to win.
Now, there's been floated that Trump could be sabotaging his own 2020. One of my colleagues on Fox, Tucker Carlson, was like, maybe he doesn't really want to run in 2020. And Tucker's not the only person who said that. Others have said that. Is there anything to that?
Well, we are building one of the largest political campaign operations in history. I think he's put so much emphasis in what we're building in 2020. I go in weekly and give him these reports. He'd be wasting a considerable amount of time, which he does not like to do.
Okay, so we can put that to bed.
Yeah.
All right,
and by the way, I'd hope so for my own job.
Yeah, like, what are you going to be doing, Parscale?
Yeah.
How do you go to work at Madison Avenue? Now, last month, Politico reported that some advisors are telling the president to hold off on 2020 rallies. Now, whose bright idea is that? Is that accurate?
No.
Because it seems like he gets energized by the rallies.
No, I don't think that's accurate. What we've talked about doing is mixing official events with campaign rallies. He needs to get out on the road also and talk about all of his achievements, all the promises that have been kept, and get out there and do those things. But rallies aren't going away. We already have a couple in the line for this month. We're going to continue to be out there. The president's going to get out there and engage with people. By the way, they're huge data mining operations for us. They're important for multiple reasons.
Yeah, so you're getting emails at these rallies.
No, cell phone numbers.
Oh, cell phone numbers. Okay.
The last rally, we got over 100,000 cell phone numbers.
Now, people say Brad is so young. He's like this tech guy. They said in 2016, well, who is this guy, Brad? And then he ends up winning. And now we understand other campaigns are trying to find their own Brad.
Yeah.
They're bradding it.
It's Parscalization, as they called it.
Oh, okay.
I think that was the term, which became a verb.
Parscaling up.
Yeah. Look, I think it shows. They all talk about how the president didn't know how to run a campaign. Now they're all trying to copy his campaign. It goes to show, I wish they would copy his policies because he knows the right policies to get the country fixed as well. It's ironic that they've chosen this. But what the fact is, The world's changed. Marketing's being driven more and more to cell phones, technologies, and the internet, and they're chasing it.
Or you're going to pinpoint the person on the block who cares about the issue. You're going to get that specific.
The people in the house.
So families that disagree?
Yeah, families disagree. We can target them differently. Look, most of us have our own individual track. It's not by an address. We create our own map and our own steps across the internet, and that's how we track that.
And one candidate you're focused on?
No, I'm not worried about it. Look, I just said today, I had to go to the Office Max and buy a bigger binder because I'm trying to track all these candidates. It's going to get so thick. I mean, I'm flipping through the pages. I think right now I don't see any clear person that is stepping up to the president.
Minnesota, could you flip it next time?
I think that New Mexico, Minnesota, New Hampshire, Nevada, I think are all good places for us to be right now.
You're going to flip one. That's your goal.
Oh,
Or two.
Or 3 or 4. That's my goal.
All right,
it'll be a good night if I get more than 2 of those.
I know you're at Air Force, Andrews Air Force Base.
Early tomorrow morning, yes.
Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate you coming.
Thank you very much.
All right.